Hey guys, it's John Baker for TimelineEnterprises.com. This is a history short, and it's going to be a slightly different history short today because I'm not talking about weapons. I'm not even talking about U.S. history right now. I'm going to talk about a very unique weapon of war. This right here, as I was just playing, many of you might be able to guess, was a bagpipe chanter. Okay, now the weapon of war that I'm talking about is none other than the Highland bagpipes. Now, why are they the weapon of war and everything like that? Well, it goes back into biblical times when they had many pipes and things like that. They actually had bagpipes way back in Macedonia and everything like that, and they played them before the army going into battle. Now, what you heard were the notes from a chanter. Now think of it being connected to a large bag, plus reeds going up from the side, and playing and being heard above cannons and things like that. The Highlanders of Scotland always went into battle with the bagpipes in the front. Well, for a while there, the bagpipes were declared a weapon of war. They still are a weapon of war, but in 1745, at the end of the Jacobite revolt in 1745, the Highlanders lost everything that was made them Highlanders. They lost their kilts, they lost the bagpipes, everything like that. The pipes were declared a weapon of war, and therefore the Highlanders were not allowed to have them and play them, and many other things. But they were still a part of Highland culture, and they did end up being played underground, away from people that would turn them into the government troops. The kilts eventually came back standardized, the first one being the Black Watch, which were basically the policemen of the Highlands brought on by the British government. But it's just interesting that a musical instrument, now I know most of you will either hate them or love them, but I personally love them. The bagpipes are a Highland tradition, a Highland marking that you can always pick out, particularly in the field. You can always hear the bagpipes playing at some point, usually over top of a lot of musketry and weapons. There were at least two bagpipers, I believe, that won the British highest medal for valor, which is the Victoria Cross. One in World War I, and there may have been another in World War I. I know one for sure, one in World War II, if I remember right. But they won them because of how they played. The one in World War I was during a gas attack, and he played the pipes on regardless of the gas that was about him. And I don't remember his name, nor do I remember if he survived that particular attack. But you think about it for soldiers. Music is very important. Those of us that have been in combat, if we weren't able to play music while we were on the road, at least we played music when we got back. It was a way of being able to decompress and to keep our minds easy and focus on home and other things like that. Well, music was also important to the Highlanders, even now, it's important to the point that bagpipes are used for many ceremonies, and sometimes they're even played just before going into battle or starting a mission to hype everybody up and get them psyched up to go forward and do their job. Now, like I said, many of them you have to practice, and these are the chanters that are used for it, and they're a lot of fun. I am not a bagpiper. I play at the bagpipes. I don't play the pipes per se yet. I'm still working on it. So. Well, I'm John Baker for Timeline Enterprises, and this has been a History Short.